Yo, what's going on, guys? Crispy Flakes here. So a super huge trade just happened in the National Basketball Association between the Houston Rockets and the Washington Wizards. Guys, Russell Westbrook, after one season with James Harden and the Rockets, has just been traded over to the Washington Wizards for John Wall and a protected first-round draft pick, man. Now, when I first saw this, I was just like, this doesn't really make a lot of sense, at least for the Houston Rockets. For the Wizards, I can kind of see things, but we are going to get into all that, man. But before we do that, I need you guys to smash that like button, guys. Drop a like on this video if this just completely caught you off guard, man. It really did for me. Like, I was not expecting this to happen. I know there was rumors about it, being shuffled around, but I did not actually think anything was going to, come to actual realization, right, man? So let's go ahead and put the trade through first. And yes, it was the trade, like I was saying, of Russell Westbrook, who is, I believe his contract, yeah, he's got 3 more years left on his deal. I don't see him declining that $47 million player option. So he's got 3 years right there, man, going over to the Washington Wizards for John Wall. John Wall actually has a pretty similar contract. I did, for some reason, thought that John Wall had 1 more year than Russell Westbrook did. So at least, I mean, they got that going for him, but we're also going to toss in that, I believe it was let me look it up real quick here, man. It was a 2023 first round protected pick, man. So we're going to say Lowry protected. Who really knows exactly what it is? I definitely don't know yet. So that's for the 2023 season. So at that point, Russell Westbrook's going to be off contract, right, man? So it's like, you don't really know what teams going to be looking like. It could in the future end up being a really solid pick for the Rockets, if Russell Westbrook gets traded eventually, and the Wizards end up going to fall on rebuild. Like I said, it's protected, so we don't know the protections at the making of this video. So we're going to put this trade through real quick here, man. And yeah, we have to talk about it from both sides. Okay, so from the Houston Rockets side of things, I got to say straight up, like, on paper, to me, this is a fantastic on paper team. But then you come to the realization that you have injury, history and just issues with a lot of these guys, man. John Wall has not played basketball in 2 seasons. So who knows how exactly he's going to be next season, man. Is he going to be the same explosive player, athletic-based point guard that essentially lost athleticism over 2 seasons? It's like, what exactly do you do with that? And then, of course, you got DeMarcus Cousins, new to this team. He's also had similar injuries over the past 2 seasons. I will say the John Wall, DeMarcus Cousins connection is going to be pretty cool if these guys can stay healthy. I am really rooting for this team to stay healthy, man. I hate to make this comparison, but I do compare it to the same thing as my Detroit Pistons, last season, essentially, guys, where, you went into the season, you were like, this roster looks pretty good. Derrick Rose, Blake Griffin coming off his best season in the NBA, in really his NBA career, and they got injured, and it just kind of screwed things up, man. So it's going to be interesting. And plus, you look at John Wall's stats just to kind of see what he is exactly. Do you guys think John Wall actually works with James Harden? In my opinion, it's a horrible fit. It's just a horrible fit because John Wall is one of the quickest, when the athleticism's good, passing point guards in the NBA. Outside of that, when the basketball's not in John Wall's hands, it's just, he's not the same player. He's not the same good player out there, man. So, but at the same time, you want the ball in James Harden's hands at all times because he's a fantastic shooting guard that knows how to make plays for others, which is fine. If he's playing off ball and John Wall's handling the basketball, that's cool. But, James Harden's just really not that type of player. Like, he likes the ball in his hands. So I don't really see it working unless, John Wall went through that Jason Kidd, Rajon Rondo type of transformation over the offseason. He can all of a sudden shoot 3-pointers now. Maybe he's going to work on that aspect of his game, then sure. But I mean, I will say, out of the past 3 point guards that James Harden has played with, Chris Paul, Russell Westbrook, and now John Wall, I think out of all of them, John Wall is the worst fit of them all, man. Because CP3, at least he had the 3-point shot. Russell Westbrook, I mean, wasn't a great 3-point shooter, like a 26% last season, but he could still, rebound and make plays for other stuff like that, and just had that athleticism slash into the basket. John Wall just doesn't have that same, I don't think he's going to have that same explosiveness as, Russell Westbrook would. But the draft pick, assuming it's not, like, heavily protected, could be a big-time W. But I will say, man, don't be surprised that if this just kind of, it's so confusing. It's like, I'm getting so many mixed signals from this team. I'm getting so many mixed signals because I'm just like, don't be surprised if James Harden gets traded to a team and then they just start a rebuild. But at the same time, it's like they just signed like DeMarcus Cousins. So obviously this team wants to compete. I don't really know, man. I mean, Christian Wood got a really good contract and everything, so you got that going for you, but I'm not really sure. Looking at the Washington Wizards side of things, I actually don't mind the move. I don't think it's really a bad move. I do think Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal together, these guys are just going to work. in this case, you run the offense through Russell Westbrook. He's healthy for the most part. It's going to make the Washington Wizards a very competitive team. I mean, John Wall could have came back and maybe he's good to go and this team would have been fine. But we do know John Wall and Bradley Beal, at least from what I know, have just like not the greatest like history pass. I guess just history or pass, two same words, right, man? So I think Russell's going to work out nicely with Bradley Beal. Like, if you're a Washington Wizards fan, I wouldn't be surprised if you guys could get like the 6th seed. I really don't think that's really out of the realm of possibilities. I would say maybe a 7th or the 8th would be realistic, but it's definitely a playoff team, man. Russell Westbrook's still an all-star caliber player. He's still a triple-double machine. I mean, last season, 27 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists, played some of his most best efficient basketball. It wasn't really until the bubble that he wasn't really playing all that great. And then obviously, you know, Bradley Beal, you got him on the team, who should have been an all-star last season, 31 points, 6 assists per game. Just, you know, Russell Westbrook, I like the idea of him driving to the basket and Bradley Beal being out there on catch and shoots and everything. You will probably expect Bradley Beal's numbers to go down a little bit despite Russell Westbrook taking on double teams and stuff like that. Nobody's still going to leave Bradley Beal, like, you know, wide open and stuff like that, because Russell Westbrook, you still want him to take the shot. So the only time you're really going to get Bradley Beal in a good situation is if Russell Westbrook's attacking the basket, right? It's just kind of his game. But on top of that, you know, you got Troy Brown Jr., Rui Hachimura, Thomas Bryant. Of course, you got the, you know, Davis Bertans going to be a fantastic player next to Westbrook. Think about, you know, when like Danilo Gallinari, did Gallinari actually play with Russell Westbrook? I don't remember. I don't know. I don't think he did. But no, think of just like Davis Bertans. I mean, that three-point shot already, man, one of the best shooting big guys in the NBA. So many catch-and-shoot opportunities. I think his stats are actually going to go up. Last season, he was already pretty dang good to begin with, and that was just with Bradley Beal. Like, literally just sit on the three-point line, and you will have opportunities, man. It's a solid fit. You got Moritz Wagner, and, of course, the rookie Denny Avdija, who, not going to lie, I feel like Denny might end up becoming a project now for this team to some extent, because he is definitely the type of guy that you also want to run the ball through and stuff. So, you know, I think the way you use Denny next season is when you use him when Russell's not on the court. You let this guy get comfortable with the second unit, you know, just the NBA pace and everything like that, and you run the ball through him and kind of get him used to that. But yeah, in the long term of things, Russell is going to take the basketball out of guys like Denny's hands, right? So you got to really think about that, man. But overall, I'm excited for you Washington Wizards fans. I know Russell Westbrook is kind of a meme these days and kind of gets disrespected at times, but hey, at least he's healthy. He's on the court. It's literally the same contract as John Wall. And I mean, at least you have like that what if out of your mind. Like, oh, like what if John Wall doesn't come back healthy? You have yourself a good solid point guard. Like, he's an all-star caliber point guard. We all know that. Russell won the Eastern Conference. It's going to be kind of exciting to see, man. So yeah, let's get going on this simulation. But to be 100% honest, man, I'm just a little confused with the route of the Houston Rockets, unless they just have a lot of confidence that John Wall's healthy and ready to go. But like I said, man, even with that, I just don't think he's the right fit next to James Harden. It's just not. So is this the start of maybe the Houston Rockets are taking some risks with John Wall and DeMarcus Cousins and hoping those two guys can return to All-Star form and play nicely off each other, and then they can trade James Harden away for some really nice assets and kind of rebuild that way? I don't really know. But yo, this Washington Wizards team is not doing good. Oh my God, man. You guys seeing all those L's? Damn, bro, y'all gonna make a run for the Pistons on here. So I do want your guys' thoughts on this trade in the comment section below. Do you think it makes any sense whatsoever, or do you think it's just a whole bunch of L's going all around, man? It's just weird. Think about this, man. Think about 2 years ago. Think about trading Russell Westbrook from the OKC Thunder, or even 1 year ago. Think about what you would get back for him, man. Think about you're going to get back. Well, even originally when Russell Westbrook was traded, he was traded for Chris Paul, who was looked upon as being washed up and injury prone and a bad contract, and he turned out to be nice. So maybe that's just like the Russell Westbrook curse. And now he gets traded for John Wall, and John Wall returns to an all-star form. Who really knows, man? But it's just crazy to think about. Like, Russell Westbrook, a former MVP, and the only trade value he has ever had so far has been for injury prone players with really large contracts. So I don't really know. We got LeBron James win MVP. It's not looking good for this Washington Wizards team. They had the worst record in the conference. I don't see that happening. We got James Harden, All-NBA third. So that's not like great. I mean, he's like an MVP player, right? And did the Rockets make the playoffs? No, they did not. They were not as bad as the Wizards. Well, maybe they were. 15-67 for the Wizards, 40-42 for the Houston Rockets, man. So let's go to the player stats real quick here on the season, just to check things out. If I can find player stats. So we're going to use these damn new menus, guys. Yeah, player stats. So we got Russell Westbrook, 22 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists. Good numbers. Bradley Beal, all-star numbers if you ask me. Apparently 31 points ain't enough, though. But it was really everybody else. Davis Bertans, only 10 points. Like, I can still see him dropping 15 game next season. Rui Hachimura looks like he really, like, reverted as a rookie. Like, going through, like, a sophomore slump or something. Denny, 6'4" and 3, so I guess that's fine. But I don't know if this means that the Wizards are going to make more moves or not. I would like them to get maybe a little bit better on the inside defensively. Like, I would actually even be okay if they just trade Troy Brown Jr. with Thomas Bryant, try to get like a more defensive center. I think I'd be okay with that. Go for like a Miles Turner or somebody like that, and then that way Denny can continue to like develop and stuff, or develop, I should say. But from the Houston Rockets side of things, we got, let's see how John Wall did over here, guys, and Boogie Cousins, I guess, too, right? John Wall, 19 points, 9 assists per game. He did shoot 34% from 3, which is probably damn near a career high for him. Not quite his career high, but still really good. Like, that would be fine, right? That's better than Russell Westbrook. So, okay. I think that's the way we kind of have to look at it. It's like, if John Wall can average like around 15 to 20 points and good field goal efficiency overall, and shoot the 3 better than 26%, then I guess it's more of an asset than Russell Westbrook is for this specific team, right, man? And like I said, the draft pick is still a thing to consider. Boogie actually played pretty nice too, but it's just, like I said, on paper, it looks okay. It doesn't look great. It looks okay. And that's only on paper, man. So you start whipping out that damn permanent marker and you start injuring players and stuff like that, then it becomes even more of an issue. But you guys give me your thoughts about this all in the comment section below. Thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to drop that like, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and peace out, my friends.